Welcome back to Otaku Flashback TV, your ultimate destination for anime recaps and deep dives into the stories that shaped our hearts. Today, we're diving into one of the most emotionally devastating yet beautiful tales in anime history, No Game, No Life, Zero. This isn't just another prequel story, folks. This is the heartbreaking tale of Riku Dola, a human who dared to challenge gods, outsmart entire races, and sacrifice everything for love and humanity's survival. We're going back 6,000 years before Sora and Shiro's adventures to witness the birth of the world they now rule. So, grab your tissues, settle in, and let's explore how a simple chess game became the foundation for saving an entire species. Trust me, you're going to need those tissues by the end of this one. The story starts with the main character Riku remembering when he was a child and how silly he used to be. In this memory, we see him as a young boy playing chess with someone we don't know. Then a big explosion destroys everything around him. He looks over and sees a girl with purple hair standing on top of the broken pieces. She has robot-like parts on her body and seems to be looking for something. After the explosion, when they see each other, the boy grabs his chessboard and runs away. Instead of chasing him, she stays there and looks surprised by what he did. The next scene jumps to the present time, showing two different people. There's a boy with blonde hair and a girl with dark purple hair who has fox ears. They're playing chess, and the girl doesn't know who the boy really is. After she loses the game, she wants to play again. The boy agrees, but asks if he can tell her a story first, a story so old that everyone has forgotten it except him. The fox girl says yes. We go back to the past, about 6,000 years ago. Three people wearing hoods are running across empty, dead land until they reach some old ruins. Even though their bodies are covered up, we can tell the leader is the same white-haired boy from the beginning. The other two with him are Ivan and an alien. They find what they came for, information left by the people who used to live in these ruins, which were dwarves. This information has important details about the war happening around the world, so they quickly start copying it down. They hear a message from the dwarves showing they plan to use very powerful bombs. Their mission gets stopped when the ground starts shaking because some huge creature is moving through it and getting closer to them. While trying to escape, Riku tells Ivan to sacrifice himself to distract the unknown thing. The entire dwarf ruins explode when the creature attacks, but Riku and Aaliyah manage to get away. When they return to where the humans are hiding, Riku and Aaliyah are quickly met by a girl named Karan. We learn she's Riku's sister, but their reunion is interrupted by Ivan's young daughter. She runs to greet her father, but he's not there. Riku has to tell her the bad news, and she reacts as you'd expect, yelling at Riku and wanting him to be gone instead of her dad. Riku goes to his room where he breaks down crying. The next scene we see Riku traveling to a place they learned about from their last mission. It's the ruins of an old Elden capital. From looking at the destruction, Riku figures out that the Flugel race probably caused it. While exploring the ruins, he notices something is wrong and gets ready to fight. Just then, something flies at him. It turns out to be a machine-like girl very similar to the one from the start of the movie. He realizes she's an ex machina and thinks it's best not to be hostile. To his surprise, the purple-haired ex machina kisses him on the lips and asks to have babies with him. The ex machina talks in a very robotic way, explaining why she's saying each thing before she says it. She tells Riku that her job is to study the language of the heart that humans have. She creates a holographic chessboard and asks Riku to play chess with her. Whether she wins or loses, she wants to be allowed to come with him because she wants to learn more about the language of the heart. Riku decides that having her around couldn't make things worse than they already are, so he agrees to the game. Instead of showing the chess match, we next see Riku and the ex machina arriving at the hideout. Riku covers up her mechanical parts with a hooded cloak and tells her to change how she talks so she sounds like a regular girl. She also needs a name, so after talking about it, they decide on Schwi. When they return, Karan quickly likes Schwi, who pretends to be a regular girl. Back in Riku's room, he and Schwi are alone talking. Schwi offers to give him useful information about the Great War if he beats her in chess. Riku says his main concern is keeping his people safe and alive, since they're too weak to fight in the war anyway. They can't use spirit circuits like other races do to get magic-like abilities and overwhelming power. They quickly get into an argument, and Riku tells her that her kind started these wars and took everything away from humanity. Her race now wants to cut up humans to find out what's in their hearts. Schwi also wonders how humans even manage to stay alive this long because she thinks humans are stupid and weaker than other species. Schwi notices Riku's anger and sadness, but can't understand what's causing it. He pushes himself away, hides under his blanket, and cries. Schwi watches him, and we can see from her face that she's starting to feel something. Sometime later, they go to the bath where Riku washes Schwi. They both say sorry to each other, and Schwi admits that she's asking him to play chess because she wants to see him smile more. Emotions seem to be growing inside Schwi as she can't figure out why she's making these choices. At the same time, Karan is cleaning up Riku's room and finds a strand of Schwi's hair. She quickly realizes it doesn't belong to a human. Riku and Schwi go back to the Elden ruins to explore them more. They find a powerful secret weapon that the elves made and kept hidden. While they were looking at what they found, the ruins' leftover defenses turned on and attacked them. Schwi put herself in danger to protect Riku, but wasn't badly hurt by the blast. This showed that Ex Machina can study and copy any attacks. When they reach the exit, they see that a powerful ash storm is happening, which delays their return. To pass time, Riku asked Schwi to play some chess. Even though he keeps losing to Schwi in chess because she's smarter, he never gives up and keeps asking for rematches. This gives her more understanding of why humans are still around despite the bad odds. Riku mentions how nice it is to have someone around, making it clear that he's getting attached to Schwi. Before they leave, he asks her to tell him more about the war so they might think of a way to end it, and we see them talking about it. After that, Riku starts to believe he could stop this endless fight. Then a big explosion happens near the human hideout, and the humans start evacuating. Riku's sister takes control of their place while Riku goes off with Schwi to recruit more people into his group called Ghosts. Ghosts are people who are officially considered dead, so they can work in secret and trick the other races. His speech is moving, and a lot of people join his unit. Even Schwi is impressed by his determination even though the chances of winning are less than 1%. Riku explains to her that chances only work if the game isn't rigged, and he plans to cheat to change humanity's odds so they can only win. After his talk about the poor odds, Riku uses the chance to tell Schwi he loves her and asks her to marry him. Schwi says no at first, saying she's not good enough for it because she's one of the units that destroyed his home in the beginning. Riku says he already knew that, remembering that the first time she saw him, he took his chessboard with him before running away. He puts an engagement ring on her finger and asks again for Schwi to walk with him as his wife. Schwi starts crying and says yes to the proposal. During the ceremony, it becomes clear that Karan already knew that Schwi wasn't human, but she didn't mind and trusted Riku's decision. Riku plans to trick the other races to achieve peace. It's like a chess game to him. Getting his plan started, the Ghosts begin to make their moves. They spread word to the elves and dwarves about each other's powerful weapons. This way they force all non-human races to pull back from the continent, leaving only humans behind. The other continent was also home to the mighty Flugel race. Unfortunately, to successfully deal with the other races who were using spirit magic, they covered their bodies with deadly ash that protected them from magic, but was quickly killing them too. Since Riku took too long dealing with the elves, his body was in bad shape after returning, but thanks to Schwi, he lived. Continuing with the strategy, the Ghosts tricked all the other races except for the Flugel. We can see Riku covered in bandages, but his plan is working and they're getting closer to the final fight. From the information he got thanks to Schwi, he learned that the gods are fighting each other so they could get the Suniaster. Apparently, the old deus who gets the Suniaster becomes the one true god and gets to rule over the others. For the Suniaster to appear, the god needs to show the greatest, unmatched power on the planet. So all the old deus are trying to kill the other ones. However, Riku's plan is to use their way of thinking and have them use those devastating weapons on each other all at once, then use the force of it to blast a hole straight into the planet itself, destroying the spirit conduits that the other races and the old deus used for their spirit magic. He explains that the old deus were born from the planet themselves, so a power that would be stronger than that would instantly qualify for the Suniaster to appear. Once the Suniaster appears, a true god would be chosen, and the planet would be reborn under its rule. Riku explains that together with Schwi, they have been placing her parts, which she can create with spirit magic, in order to use her ability to change the direction of an attack and direct the blast towards the center of the planet. Riku collapses from being too tired after the long explanation. Once Riku wakes up, he sends his sister back to the colony to watch over it. Riku tells Schwi how happy he is because he has her and that she is his strength. He then leaves the hideout to finish the preparations alone. While Schwi is setting up the parts for the plan, she is discovered by a Flugel warrior. Schwi says she doesn't want to fight, but the strong angel-like enemy is determined to capture Schwi for knowledge. Schwi tries to beg for her life, but that only makes the Flugel even angrier, and a fight starts. From the beginning, it's clear that Schwi doesn't stand a chance, and she quickly realizes the same thing. In a desperate attempt to survive and save Riku's plan, she connects with the other Ex Machina, insisting that her mission is complete. At first, she is dismissed, but the more she keeps insisting, the more her unusual status becomes obvious and her synchronization begins. To buy time needed to finish the synchronization, she is allowed to go full combat mode, much to the surprise of the Flugel she is fighting against. Transforming into a large combat machine, Schwi introduces herself to her enemy, and the Flugel responds the same way. We learn that her name is Jibriel. The fight continues, and this time Schwi is able to fight back because of her new combat form. But even that proves not enough to win against Jibriel. But it does buy enough time for the synchronization with the collective mind to end. Before she is completely destroyed by Jibriel, Schwi uses her remaining power to protect the engagement ring on her finger from the blast. The explosion can be seen from far away, and Riku immediately notices that something is wrong, since Schwi is not there. Not having the strength to carry on, he passes out once again. His sleep is interrupted by a person appearing before him. He introduces himself as an ex machina and delivers Schwi's last words and the ring she saved. He mentions that the current plan won't work as it is because it's not finished being set up, but it's enough to just redirect the massive blast toward the direction where he will keep his other ex machina and use their ability to copy the blast and fire it at the planet. They are ready to sacrifice themselves to see Riku's plan succeed. Riku decides to go through with the plan to honor Schwi's final wish. And so, the final battle begins, with the Ex Machina starting the first attack. The three major forces respond as predicted. Even the old Deus who created the Flugel comes down to increase the power of his race. All the sides use their most devastating weapons. The Ex Machina get destroyed by the blast, but manage to analyze and copy the attack, giving the trigger to fire it to Riku. Riku fires it straight into the planet's center. The plan works, and we see spirit circuits disappearing, while the Suniaster appears in front of Riku. However, as he reaches for it, He is overcome by massive feelings of guilt about all the sacrifices he made to get here, and his body begins to fall apart. After taking the Suniaster, the now one true God announces the new rules of the new world. The God ends the wars that have plagued the planet for so long and gives humanity a new name: Immanity. We are brought back to the present as the fox girl is playing chess against the blonde boy, who we now know is the god of games as well as the one true God of this world. She questions how truthful this story was as she becomes emotional. Their conversation is cut short as her friends appear, making the god of games disappear before they notice him. Her friends are Shiro, Sora, and Steph. We also learn the fox girl's name is Izuna. She quickly grabs the gem that Steph was carrying on her clothing, turning it over to see if it has writing on the back. Sure enough, there is writing on the back, but it can't be read by the group. They choose to summon Jibriel, who reads the writing revealing the names of Dola, Riku Dola, and Schwi Dola. Jibriel adds that she doesn't remember anyone in Immanity being named Schwi, but doesn't seem to remember anything more. Izuna says how she thinks those names are somehow familiar to her, while having a sad smile.
And that's the incredible, heartbreaking story of Riku Dola. From a traumatized child who ran away with a chessboard to the god who rewrote the rules of reality itself. This story teaches us profound lessons about the power of love, the strength found in sacrifice, and the unwavering determination of the human spirit. Riku and Shui's journey shows us that true strength isn't about physical power. It's about protecting those you love, finding hope in impossible situations, and never giving up even when the odds are stacked against you. Their story reminds us that love can transcend boundaries between species, that intelligence and strategy can overcome brute force, and that sometimes the greatest victory requires the ultimate sacrifice. Most importantly, it proves that even in the darkest of wars, hope and humanity can prevail when we choose compassion over hatred and unity over division. What did you think of this tragic masterpiece? Which of these powerful themes resonated with you the most? Did Riku's sacrifice hit as hard as it hit me? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing your thoughts on these emotional roller coasters. If this recap brought back all the feels or introduced you to this amazing story for the first time, smash that like button and subscribe to Otaku Flashback TV for more deep dives into anime's most unforgettable moments. Ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest recaps. Until next time, keep those anime memories alive, and remember, sometimes the most powerful move in chess isn't about winning, but about what you're willing to sacrifice for the people you love. See you in the next flashback.